All right, here with head football coach Steve Johnson. Off to a 2-0 start, great start. Coach, what have you learned about your team here through these first two games?
Yeah, we've had two great games with solid opponents. Simpson game was a dogfight. We had some great heat as far as the weather was concerned, but two teams. That first game, there are high expectations, and everybody's kind of anticipating great things, and there's a lot of toughness that's required through that thing, but it's kind of there because the hopes are so high. And so it really turned out to be a terrific game, really a physical battle. And then we followed that up with a home game with River Falls. And the Wisconsin League is just physical and big, but that's the kind of the ball that we want to play. And there's a lot of respect back and forth with both of those teams that we played, and we came out on top on both games, but they were great games, and I think they really tested us. And so what we found about our team is that we do have resolve, that we do kind of have that toughness, not a bravado type of toughness, but the consistency and discipline, and that kind of never quit.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it definitely looks to me like you've got two quarterbacks. Now, so don't go Nick Saban on me, but I know the people want to know what's the plan going forward. Is there a plan? Kind of what's that looking like?
Our quarterbacks are better than Coach Saban, so I don't have to go on there now. We've got an unbelievably great deal, and it's not really a problem. What it is Jake Marsh is a great quarterback, and he's a great leader for us, and a great man, and he's a heck of a player. Well, Jaron Rosti joined us. He transferred from the university. We had been recruiting him for a long time, but he was at the University of Minnesota, transferred here, and he's just grown in our program, and they're both a little bit different. Jake can run the ball, but he can throw, obviously, as you know, he can throw like crazy and put on money all over the place. And Jaron can really throw well, but he's also 6'2" and a half and 235 and can run like crazy. So different games are going to give us different things. And so really the bigger thing, Tim, is that we need to use both guys, and not in a rotational way. But our first game, Jake kind of struggled, and Jaron came in and really did some good things, and circumstances had it to where he finished and we won the game, and I'm not sure we would have if he didn't come and do that. In the second game, Jaron's playing great and has cramps and has to come out, and Jake comes in and leads us and does a great job. And so we wouldn't be 2-0 without both of them. Now at the same time, that there's turmoil. Jake Marsh is a star baseball player and football player, and so he's got to deal with some things. And as an older coach, I know that this is good, but it isn't comfortable. You know what I mean? Right. And so Jaron, they're kind of neck and neck, and we kind of want them to compete to be the guy anyway, even if the second quarterback isn't up to that snuff. But this makes you do it, and so. But as those guys, Scotty Kirkhoff is a phenomenal football coach and quarterback coach, and he's been through this stuff, and he talks about their room. Our quarterback room has got to be together, or we don't want any divisiveness, even if it's accidental. Both of the kids, and Chase Gottape is another one in there, and Asa Carlson. We've got 4 quarterbacks that are beautiful kids. And they've got to love each other like crazy and compete with each other, not against each other. And I think it's going to work out that way. Right now, Jaron has got the nod, but Jake is going to help him. We just want to win, and that's what those guys feel like, and that's what they want. Now there is human nature in there to where I want to play, and it's not. Again, I've kind of used the analogy. It's not like we've got 4 left guards that are fighting for a spot. A quarterback's a little different thing, just as a pitcher is.
Right. So those are great teaching points with those quarterbacks, learning things that they'll appreciate looking back for in years future. But with the whole team, kind of what have been some of the teaching points here, especially over the last bye week or last couple games?
I think with the bye week, I think one of the things that we preach all the time, and we don't want any of these things to be just cliche. We want things to be, but staying in a fight is really a big deal. And sometimes you think, oh, you stayed in the fight because they won. You can lose and stay in the fight, but staying in the fight is even in class. I'm sitting in class and it's boring. And we are in a society to where there's instant gratification, and if this isn't fun for me, I'm thinking about something else, or I'm on my cell phone or whatever it is. And I don't want to sound like an old guy, but it happens to me to where I'm not be where your feet are. Bring the right heart to practice every day. And so those things are disciplines. And when I talk about toughness, I'm not talking about bravado and chest out. I'm talking about discipline, do the right thing over and over and over. Then it becomes a habit. And that's what's important. I think that our guys do that. And what's happening right now is we talk a lot about just love each other, and sometimes you think that's be nice, and you're a punk and you do a dorky thing. Oh, just be nice. That's not what we're talking about. Loving each other is having high expectations, high accountability toward one another, and what it results in is great juice and joy. And so here we go, baby. And so our practices in the midst of bye week were ridiculous. We were, as coaches, we were kind of snickering. We tell the kids that because we want more, but we also, we're thinking, man, these guys, they got after it. And in a bye week situation, it is really, you want to embrace wherever your bye is. Well, I don't ever want to say, oh, that's a horrible time for a bye, But we felt like we need to keep a rhythm going, and we don't want to beat the guys up. But we do have to keep. You don't want to just if it's a later bye, you kind of maybe need some rest. Hey, let's get a day off. Let's get away. We didn't really want to do that in a week, so we practiced pretty normal as this week went without pounding each other.
Yeah. So speaking of good juice, it was just announced last week. Kyle Kilgore was named to the All-State AFCA Good Works team. 6th consecutive year that a Bethel Royal has been named to that, and that makes 12 out of 27 that the Good Works team has been around, that a Bethel Royal has been selected to that. So obviously a huge honor for Kyle, but what does that mean to your program, and also what kind of impact has Kyle had in his time here?
Yeah, it's I talked to our team last week just about this, and Kyle wasn't there, and so it was good. It was good to say some of these things. But when we were putting this together, because we've had some of these guys, and Dalkey last year, and these guys all along, and one of our coaches, AJ Parnell, was a recipient a long time ago. That was before they went to a bowl game, so he feels a little gypped about that. But I just told him to shut up and coach. But he's Kyle's coach, and one of the really neat things when we're putting these things together, and we're not trying for it seems kind of weird, Good Works deal. You don't, it's like getting a trophy for being humble or something. And we don't, it's something. This is the beauty of Kyle and other guys, is that when we asked about some things that he does, I don't do anything, and all of a sudden he starts talking about what he does and what he gives his time to and his heart to, and I get choked up about it because it's pretty cool, because he's a monster of a player. He's one of the best players in Division III. He is a tough guy who works his tail off, and he's going food for the hungry, and it's just amazing all the things that he does, and I mean my joy is that he doesn't know it. And that's why I told our team, I said, you guys, giving your heart away and giving it away for free, that's what this is, and that's what Kyle's done. And so the impact, you don't want to go measuring impact like that, because then you're gonna look for an award or something, but it's pretty cool to get recognized for that.
Yeah, for sure. So now as we get ready to turn the page here from the bye week, welcoming the Golden Gusties of Gustavus here on Saturday. I gotta imagine this matchup has maybe a little bit of a special place for you being their head coach? Pete Haugen was a player for you here in the early years of your time here, and getting somebody that really helped get the program out of the trajectory that it's been here for the last few decades. But
yeah, it is. Well, it's a huge game because Gustavus is really good. So the coaching stuff, goes out the window a little bit. But Peter is he's just one of those guys. I just love him. And yeah, you remember back his first year, we didn't have a good record, but we were noticed because we kind of closed the gap a lot. Well, the second year, we almost won the stinking thing, and a lot of it was because of Peter. He is the toughest guy ever. You know what I mean? He's a baseball player, a great catcher, and he's a goalie, and he's a tight end for us. He didn't look like a tight end, but he was just so tough, and he's such a good player. But he can just do everything. But his toughness and also his heart is, I just love him, and it's gratifying. I'd rather not play. That part of it isn't. That's probably not fun for either one of us. You know what I mean? But the Gusties are an excellent team, and he's done a great job with those guys and the culture of their program and the kids that they have and those deals. So it's going to be a dogfight. They've got a great quarterback that we need to. We're not going to shut them down, obviously, but we need to contain them and make them earn it and do those different things on defense. Try to have some coverage stuff and then put some pressure on and do different things to give them different looks, take them out of rhythm. But we just want to slow them down, and then offensively we want to, their defense, they're pretty fast. You know what I mean? They're not going to be, so we just need to be physical downhill and then make some plays in the passing game too.
Cool. All right, well, thanks for the time, Coach, and good luck on Saturday.
Can't wait.